I'd like to welcome to the show Chris, aka Killer, whose best friend is a shark.
Yeah, well, kind of. We have a love-hate relationship.
Love-hate relationship. What's going on, mate? Man, how you been?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Hanging in there. It's
No,
been a
excellent.
while, but I finally got everything hooked up so I could get you on the show.
I'm very happy about it. No, we're really happy to be here. You've jumped on with us since day one, so yeah, whatever we can do, we're stoked to be here and doing it.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I heard Storm the Crown, man, I stumbled across you guys. I think it was on TikTok or something, and I loved the groove, the sound, the vocals, and it just grabbed me, man. It said, "Come on in."
Yes, I love it. That's what we want to hear.
So, you guys just released Ritual.
We did.
You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Going really, really well. We're really, really happy with it. We've from that first EP, had that real like early 2000s metalcore kind of feel to it.
Right.
Really kind of progressed and started adding a lot more death metal sort of influences in there, mostly through myself and Alex, our guitarist, with his songwriting.
Right.
Really happy with the direction things are moving in. The EP has been amazing. We've had a great response to it. The single Ritual just went off on YouTube.
Right.
Got really lucky with a great video clip for that one as well, that a mate of ours, Brad Gilbertson, put together for us.
Right.
The EP has been received amazingly though. So we're so stoked to have it out there finally.
Right. What got you into wanting to do singing? I mean, what got you into it, man?
Yeah, so I've always had a relationship with music.
Right.
Going back to...
Do you come from a musical background?
No. I mean, there was always music in the house. So growing up, like raiding mum and dad's record collection and going through and finding stuff that I loved. Started with stuff like, I mean, it's not really metal, but Paul Simon's Graceland album was the first album that just grabbed me and made me need to listen to music.
Right.
And over the years, things just slowly progressed from, like getting into punk rock and that sort of stuff. And then Machine Head, Davidian, was the first song I ever heard that made me go, I want to do a heavier vocal. It just blew me away. And then from there, hearing other bands like Zayo is probably the other big one. Hearing the way their vocalist does his vocals, I'd never heard anything like it at the time. It was so extreme, so full on. And it just really made me want to dive into learning how to do that style of vocal. I'm also not the best singer. And so running around...
I think you're pretty awesome, man.
I have a good crack at it. And look, over the years, it's gotten better and better. But when I first started, I was terrified of singing in front of people. But running around and pretending to be Cookie Monster, not a problem.
Right. So, I mean, you also do some solo stuff, too, you just released not too long ago.
I do, and I've got some more coming.
Great.
That's something I've got a little studio, which I'm sitting in at the moment. You can see some of my guitars in the background here.
Right.
And some Kiss dolls over here. You got to have the Kiss dolls.
Yeah.
The greatest band ever. But no, yes, I've got the studio here. I just love music. So I'm always writing. I'm always working on something, whether it be for Storm the Crown, whether it be for myself, whether it be for other artists that I'm collaborating with.
The thing is, your solo music's a little bit different from what Storm the Crown is. It's pretty deep, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's very different.
It's very different, though, from Storm the Crown to your solo stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up in the 90s with that whole grunge explosion. And so bands like Sonic Youth and Smashing Pumpkins and Snot and all those bands were bands that really influenced me as a young man growing up and learning how to play guitar.
Right.
And learning how to, honing that craft. And so going back to that was a no-brainer. It's I'm always writing and playing stuff like that.
Right.
I do have a new solo thing coming that's completely different again. So kind of more leaning on a little bit of a black metal kind of thing that I've been playing with. I'm hoping to have an EP come out in a few more months. If I get the time, we'll see how we go. But I've got 4 songs sitting there at the moment, almost finished, with this black metal thing. That'll just be another killer solo type project.
Okay.
I'm not really limiting it though. Just kind of, it's whatever's coming out with the killer stuff. I'm just enjoying it. I've been doing a bit of stuff on YouTube with it as well, doing some reacts. and things like that. So I've got a bit of a channel thing going there.
You got
trying to help.
what is it, the Mosh Chronicles or something?
Yeah, Killer Breakdowns, the Mosh Files.
Yeah, the Mosh Files.
It's a random name, but it just stuck in my head, so I had to use it.
Right.
Yeah, just having some fun with that though. You know, I've got all this equipment here and this stuff, and I just thought, you know, why don't I have some fun and use it? I really enjoy video editing. I really enjoy like music editing and production stuff. So
now,
that's why.
Do you do a lot of the production for Storm the Crown?
No. So we the last 2 EPs we've used a guy here in Adelaide, Andy Kite, at Against the Grain. He's been amazing. He's done all of our recordings so far.
Okay.
We're lucky that all the guys in the band have got our own individual little setups at home to be able to record. Right. And so the writing process, we really use that. We'll, you know, bouncing tracks over to each other, working on stuff. So when we do get into the jam room, we've already got a really good feel for the new song.
Right.
But no, as far as the actual, the EPs, everything's been in studio. We then send that off to the Panic Room in Sweden, with Plek to master, who is the man. He's done, you know, Soilwork, Opeth, all these huge bands. So we were just stoked to be able to get in with him to master them for us, and the results are fantastic. So we couldn't be happier.
So you're also have a few published books out too.
I do. Yeah, I can't help myself. As we were saying before we started the interview, I've got ADHD.
Right.
I cannot help myself. I have projects going and going and going, and more ideas in the back of my head kicking around. A lot of these things are things that I do to help with that. I've also got autism, and so these things just help me navigate life sometimes by being able to sit down and focus on something and just zone out. And so yeah, I've got 14 coloring in books up on Amazon. That, you know, almost anyone can buy on Amazon. If you find me on my socials, you can find all the links for this stuff through my links in my bios.
Right.
So 14 colouring in books. I've got a few ebooks up there as well. There's an encyclopedia on mythic creatures, which is the second volume I'm working on at the moment. Cool. Yeah, I have fun with it. I just can't help myself though. Yeah. And the colouring in books is something I do myself. I love colouring in, and I kind of made them in a way just so I had something that I wanted to colour in.
Right.
So zombies and vampires and heroes and 80s type influence stuff. I love it. So yeah, it keeps me busy.
The rest of the members in the band, did you guys like grow up together or?
No. So we've all, I mean, a lot of the guys knew me from some of my previous bands.
Okay.
And that's how this whole thing started. I'd moved out of the country to where I grew up and was working in a shoe repair key cutting place, as well as working at the tattoo studio I work at. And Shane, our bass player, Waffles, walked in one day and was like, "Hey, you're Killer from Paradise Burning and Closed Casket, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I am actually. How you going, man? It's good to see you. I remember your face from like back in the day." And every week he'd come in and we'd have a chat, and that just progressed. I ended up then hitting Adam up, our drummer, who was a tattooist at the studio I work at, and was like, "Hey, we should just get together and play some songs. I've got a few guitar riffs I'd love to, you know, sit down with you and work some stuff." And we kind of intended to do like a rock and roll, like real singy, you know, dare I say it, almost Bon Jovi type of thing. That didn't happen.
Okay. Good.
We got heavier and heavier and heavier as time progressed. And Waffles, Ads and I had been playing together for a good 4 or 5 years with another mate of ours, just mucking about, writing some songs, no real intentions of playing live or anything like that, but just a you know, a good get together, gets us out of the house. I think some of those guys got them away from the wives and the kids for a few hours to have some fun with the lads. And when COVID hit, that kind of all fell apart. But out of that, Storm the Crown came about.
Right.
Adam just came to me one day and said, "Hey, I've got a mate of mine that I've been jamming with, doing some covers that's really keen to do some metal stuff. Why don't we get Waffles in and we'll see what happens?"
Right.
And within about a month and a half, Storm the Crown had 4 or 5 songs sitting there ready to go. We just got Alex, our other guitarist, in, and he'd started writing for those songs and writing some new stuff, and the ball just kept rolling.
Right. So you guys got a great album out called Ritual, and you have one before that too. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but
neither can I.
But
with Neon. Neon was the big single off the first one.
Yeah, Neon. But with Ritual, you guys got a song on there that, like, probably one of my favorites is Bones.
Oh, fantastic!
What you want to tell us what that's all about?
My songwriting process is really different. I hear a lot of other songwriters do this as well. I have a number of ways I'll write. So I'll either put my headphones on in my studio, turn the mic on and hit record and just see what happens and kind of just freestyle over it.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll be in the jam room. It's very rarely that I write lyrics down with an intention, though.
Right.
And often I'll finish a song and go, okay, that song's about this. Oceans from our first EP was a big one like that. I wrote that song not knowing what it was about, and then read it and went, oh, God, this is about my old man and dementia, and this is actually really fun.
Right.
So Bones, it's probably more based in, a lot of the stuff on Rituals is based in my nightmares.
Okay.
So, I've mentioned about ADHD and stuff. I've also got PTSD. And so nightmares are a pretty normal thing for me.
Right.
And I find it really cathartic to write about that stuff. And so often a lot of the stuff on Ritual is just, I'm talking about nightmares that I've had and overcoming them. So yeah, Bones is definitely one that's based in nightmares and bad dreams and overcoming that.
Right. Let's talk about your solo stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up the songs here. I can't remember which ones they are.
Yeah, so I've got 3 up there at the moment, I think. So Gallows was the first one we dropped.
Yeah.
And Monsters not long after that, and I was so happy to I got some amazing collabs on that one.
Right.
With my very, very good friend Liggy. Lee, he was in an amazing Australian band called Double Dragon, who are not around anymore, but they are definitely worth checking out. He has played with everybody. He's toured with like Slayer. Well, I don't really need to say anybody else because Slayer.
You got to say it right. Slayer. There you go.
That's right. And he even got the opportunity to jump up and sing with him one night when something was happening with Tom's voice, and so I was so happy to get him, even though he's one of my best mates. I sent the song to him just to say, hey, can you have a listen to this and have a listen to the mix for me and see how it's sitting in your ears? And he listened to it and just went, hey, I hear another part in the chorus. Can I try something? Like, of course you can, mate. I'd love to hear it. Right. Flicked him over the main files for it. And then he sent it back and he's like, oh, look, I asked my wife to jump on there as well. Now, his wife is Eleanor is an amazing and really famous Fijian pop singer. She's multi-award-winning pop singer in Fiji. She's massive over there. So getting her on the track as well was a huge bonus for me. Okay. I'm really happy about that one. And then Broken was the last one I put out. Again, it was just a different way for me to write songs. It's really bass heavy the way I wrote that one. There's not a lot of actual guitars. It's almost all bass guitars.
Right.
And I just had fun with the songwriting process, just playing around with different techniques, trying some different things. A lot of the time with my solo stuff, that's where it'll come from. I'll hear a drum beat or I'll get a bass line in my head and I just need to nut it out and work on it. And then there's a song there.
So, that first tune that you put out of your solo stuff, it seemed like it went pretty deep.
Yeah.
Into
I get quite personal, I guess, with the solo stuff. It's a lot more about me.
But when you're doing stuff like that, that's what it's all about. Let your feelings out, or something that's happened to you, or you know what I mean.
You got to write about what you know. So
right. Let me ask you this, Killer. What is your take on the music scene today compared to what it used to be?
Oh.
Now that you got like AI coming into play,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I mean, do you think it's better, or you think it's worse, or do you think AI is eventually going to take over?
I actually love AI
Okay.
as a tool. Um, Not as a something to like. So, say if we're using just music as an example, you've got all these apps out there and tools, AI tools that will write songs for you.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right.
Saying that, using it as a tool to assist with a song or to help with a part that you just can't get right and you need some help with it.
Right.
Things like that. I think as a tool it is fantastic, but as the be all and end all, it's not the answer.
Right. Right. Okay.
It's like anything. You could pay a studio musician to come in and play the parts for you perfectly. AI is kind of the same sort of thing, I guess. You can use it like that, but I think it misses out that raw and that human element to it, and you need that in there still.
Right. Exactly.
Um,
And the thing
yeah.
is, too, is I've heard people say AI is it's still learning. You know, so let me ask you this: do you have any uh, inspiration or any thoughts of for any upcoming musicians?
Keep going. Just keep at it. Don't stop.
Yeah.
For every and the thing with human nature is we hold on to those negative things. And so you'll hear one negative thing out of 10 positive things, and you'll hold on to that, and it'll make you stop. You've got to keep pushing through, keep doing what you love doing, do it for the love, don't do it for the recognition, don't do it for the, I mean, I can't talk. I started a band because I wanted to have girls talk to me. So, I mean, most of us did when we started a band. It's like, hey, I can get some free drinks, and girls might want to talk to me now. So,
right.
But no, just keep at it. It doesn't matter if other people don't like it. If you like it, that's all that matters. Do it for yourself.
Right. Okay. Very cool. Anything you want to add in on this interview, man? Because I mean,
just find me on my socials and stuff. Hit me up on there. Same with the Storm the Crown stuff. I'd love to hear where everybody's from as well. I love that, being able to communicate with people. So, if you're watching this and you want to hit me up, please do. Find me on my socials. I'm available everywhere. Same with Storm the Crown. Hit us up. We'd love to hear from you guys. And you just keep enjoying the music.
All right. And make sure you guys follow Killer on TikTok. Him and his best friend, the Shark.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with that shark. That's at work at the tattoo shop, and he's kind of looking over my shoulder all day, making sure I'm working. So,
all right, mate. Hey, thanks a million, man, for taking the time out of your schedule to come on the Metal Shop 101. We've been trying to hook this up now for a while, and we finally got it hooked up. So I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem at all. And we'll have to do this again, mate.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime you guys get something out, definitely let me know. You know where to get a hold of me.
Oh, I love it. Good being able to chat.
So, all right, we will definitely keep pushing Storm the Crown here on the Metal Shop 101 for you, Killer. And thanks again, man.
Anytime, mate. It's fantastic.
Okay.